So I find it really interesting. We hear a lot, in the Enneagram world, 5s have some of the most trouble self-starting, maybe, after 9s. So I find it really interesting that all 3 of you are currently self-employed. Am I correct? And so we've heard a little bit about that journey from you, Victoria, and so I'm curious, Brandon and Kim, what has that been like for you? Especially Brandon talking about that measured level of energy.
That may be part of it, is to go to a 9 to 5 every day would be so much energy on somebody else's clock with, I can't decide when to retreat, when to withdraw. Self-employed means I have ample time alone. So there's a lot of those that I think maybe the pain of that is worse than the pain of self-starting. Maybe that's
fair.
What's going on there. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah. So what kind of what made you decide to start your own business?
Okay, this is off the cuff. I haven't processed this completely, so I'll do it out loud. This is my nightmare.
It's okay. We all love you here.
We're all 5ing out with you. It's all right.
It might have been. I think it was a pretty logical head-based decision. It was, should we buy a laptop or a camera? Well, the laptop is kind of sinking our money into something that will just depreciate. The camera is a means to making more money through shooting, which then we can buy a better laptop. And then, so that was how I got into photography, was not, I have a passion for this. It was, this makes logical sense and the steps line up in the right way to where we don't buy a $700 Dell computer, we buy a $700 laptop and then the $2,000 MacBook later. It was very logical, and then I got kind of swept up in this art, which really is just observing through a lens behind some protection of the camera. So it makes a lot of sense looking back on it now. There's a lot of logic and time to myself and observing and all of that stuff.
Have you ever had a traditional 9 to 5 job?
For 9 months when I was 16 and got my first car, and that was part of the thing, was I had to pay for my own gas and stuff. But I got up. To that point I was working at HEB and kept getting offered to go from a cart pusher to be a cashier, and kept declining it because cashier would require interacting with people, and when I was pushing carts I could just think. And I even did it in the sleet. I did it in the sleet one night, and my mom got mad at the manager. I said, actually, I said I want to be out there. So yeah, that was my only 9 to 5 job.
Wow, thank you. Kim, what about you? What has this journey been like for you?
The journey has been, I've done the 9 to 5, but I did it when I was the expert. So I was within a team, but I was the expert. So everyone left me alone with my knowledge and my work. Because, right, yeah, so I could run around and say there's only 10 of us in the country, blah, 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 kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, but now that I'm not doing that profession anymore, now it's just been following what I love to learn. And I definitely have the classic 5, like, you gather information ad nauseum. I'm really struggling with this lately in both the coaching and the trading, because the coaching, it's like I've collected so much information, it's overwhelming. So it's not just like the lack of wanting to be in action, it's like the information that I have available now is unmanageable, which takes a lot. Because generally I like to create, new things. That's my creativity, is by taking information from a lot of different areas and a lot of different fields. And now trading with cryptocurrency is a 24/7 market that is moving very rapidly because it's a new market. So it's not even like there's a close like in a traditional trading market at 5. It is 24/7. So it is like, I'm almost doing it as a discipline to push myself into get smarter about how you use information and get in action. If I don't get in a trade, I don't make any money.
Yeah.
So at some point I have to stop gathering the information and opinion, because tomorrow when I get up, the market will be completely different, right? What needs to happen will be completely different. So it's almost been like, that's been a therapy almost for the 5.
Yeah. What have you used to cope with that? Because I could imagine that would be very difficult.
Well, really just that, like being disciplined in, as a 5, right, I like to find the experts. So there's been the narrowing down to who do I listen to, and then just really sticking to that. And then also practicing, I need my own trading style to be successful because there's a lag between what people say and what happens with the market. So it's
Yeah.
forcing me to have my own style,
Yeah.
which forces me into action. It's just kind of forcing me into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very much.